Our story begins in the small town of Hearthstone, nestled in a peaceful valley surrounded by snow-capped mountains. It's been a cold year, and the townspeople are suffering from drought and food shortages, longing for the warmth and hope of Christmas. Among the townspeople lives a young woman named Clara, a seamstress known for her kindness and quiet resilience. Clara has spent much of her life caring for others, but deep down, she has a dream as unreachable as a distant star, a longing for a loving family and a home. As the sun sets on Christmas Eve, Clara completes her last task, making a warm wool coat for the local orphanage. She carefully wraps the coat, her fingers numb from the cold, and walks out into the snowy streets. The bells of the town church ring, a gentle reminder that midnight services are about to begin. On her way to the orphanage, Clara notices a soft glow emanating from the town square. Curious, she follows the light and finds a group of children surrounding an old man who is carving a wooden nativity scene. The old man's hands, though roughened by age, moved deftly, shaping the figures with loving precision. Clara approached quietly, her breath visible in the cold air. The old man looked up and smiled. "Ah, Clara," he said, as if waiting for her. "Would you stay a moment? I want to show you something." She nodded curiously. The old man handed her an unfinished carving of a little shepherd. "This piece," he said, "reminds me of you. A shepherd watches over his flock and cares for them even in the worst of times. But even shepherds deserve rest and happiness." Clara was moved by his words, accepted the carving and thanked him. She continued on her way, warmed by this unexpected encounter. When she reached the orphanage, the children's faces smiled as she handed her coat. A little girl, eyes wide with curiosity, tugged at Clara's sleeve. "Miss Clara," the girl asked, "why do you always give us gifts? Who gives you gifts?" The question caught Clara off guard. She knelt before the child, smiling. "Sometimes," she whispered, "the greatest gift is to see someone else happy." As she left the orphanage, snowflakes began to fall gently, covering the town with a soft, shimmering blanket. Clara walked to the church, where the townspeople had gathered for a midnight service. The pews were filled with family and friends, their voices mingling as joyful carols echoed off the wooden beams. During the service, the pastor spoke of hope and new birth, of how the birth of Christ brought light into the darkness. Clara listened intently, her heart blown by the messages. She realized that, though she had spent her life giving, she had forgotten to open her heart to receive, to the possibility of joy, love, and community. After the service, as the townspeople greeted one another warmly, Clara lingered at the church door. To her surprise, an old man in the square approached her with a package in his hands. "I thought this was for you," he said, handing her a small wooden box. Inside was a complete nativity scene, each figure beautifully carved and painted with great detail. The shepherd she had been holding was now placed among the others, his face etched with quiet strength. "Thank you," Clara whispered, tears welling up in her eyes. The clock struck midnight and the bells rang again, heralding the arrival of Christmas. The townspeople gathered in the square, their laughter and song filling the night. Clara stood among them, holding the nativity scene close to her heart. For the first time in years, she felt the warmth of belonging, and the spark of her dream was rekindled. That night, Clara realized the truth she had long forgotten, that love and joy are not gifts to be earned, but blessings to be shared. As she looked up at the stars, she knew that Christmas had brought her the greatest gift of all, a heart open to miracles.
This is a brand new channel. Next, I will make a series of movies with different styles and stories. There may be imperfections, but I will keep learning and make the content more perfect. The past will never disappear and will always be presented in new ways. Merry Christmas, and may all your wishes come true.